Hello, I'm Stuart Bloor and I'm watching the rod while I talk, waiting for some signs of movement, which unfortunately is not happening at the moment. It's a freezing cold day. I had to scrape ice off the windshield this morning as I set out, and parts of the canal are frozen over, but I'm just fishing the part that isn't, so that's sorted, isn't it? It's going to be a tough one today, there's no doubt about it. The water temperature is in free fall, it's tumbling, you know, even with the thermometer in there you can see it going down over a period of time. And when the trend's like that and it's on the way to rock bottom, you know that whatever species you're after, that it's going to be tough. But I'm targeting chub, so at least I've got a chance, and I'm a great believer that no matter how low the percentage possibility is, as long as your bait's in that water, then of course you're only one pull round from a good fish. I'm coming to the end of the session now. I've had one or two very slight taps, very slight plucks. It's impossible to say whether they've been small fish or even chub just picking up the bait. I think if there's one word to describe this week that I've got planned after chub on the canal, it's hard. But as they say, when the going gets tough, and I've got a few sessions ahead of me, I'm pretty confident I'm going to get a fish or two on the bank. Mad or dedicated, I'll let you decide, but I'm back for a second session. I'm in a different place this time. The canal is crystal clear. You can see right to the bottom and right the way across. So I think my best chance today is as it starts to get dark or even into darkness. That's my plan to fish right the way through. The temperature has dropped 0.1 Celsius, so in 24 hours that's not bad, because although it's continuing to fall and it has been in free fall throughout the week, it means that it's actually stabilising, so that's a good factor. And bear in mind I am after chub, so they are winter species anyway. The thing is with winter fishing, and certainly into dark, you need to have the right gear. Now when I was a kid, I used to fish with my dad's donkey jacket, 3 pairs of trousers, 4 jumpers and all that sort of thing. Now we have all the proper gear, so as long as you've got that stuff and as long as you're you're using the right sort of gear, there's no reason why we can't fish right through the winter. It's now late afternoon and the sun has disappeared over the horizon. It's getting quite chilly now from an air perspective, but I've just had my first little tap on the rod, 5mm, and I got quite excited at that. So you know that the going's tough, don't you, when you get thrilled with something as significant or as insignificant under most circumstances as that. Anyway, I'm hopeful that I'm going to get my first fish of the week. There's obviously something out there, and hopefully it'll be on the bank soon. I'm into a fish and it feels like a decent one as well, and I'm not very much into praying that I don't lose fish, but I really hope that I don't lose this one. There it is. I couldn't even begin to tell you how thrilled I am in these conditions to bank this chub. I caught a bream, and as you can see, I'm back home now. I've got some food to eat and then some work to do. And talking of work, I run a charity that works in Africa, and if you fancy a day out in the new year on a Shropshire lake after pike, then check out my website, and there's an auction going up for a day out fishing with me in the new year. Now of course that depends on when you watch the video. If it's before the 20th of December 2014, then you're in with a shout, and who knows, we might be seeing each other in the new year. I'm back. I was talking about my charity, wasn't I, when I went home after session 2. Anyway, this morning I've been transferring money. A couple of medical workers in South Africa have got some cash lying in their bank account when they next go there. Also a project as well, a medical project in South Africa, and a boy that we sponsor in Ghana. So that's been a very productive and fulfilling morning. And I'm hoping that when I go home this evening, after a day's or an afternoon's fishing for chub on the canal, I'll be just as happy and fulfilled. I'm actually fishing bread. As you can see there, I've just pulled some off the loaf, a few slices there. And what I do to put some feed out is just put the bread into pieces like so, and just throw it out. And of course, over a period of time on the bottom, although it's quite hard there, it will break up and it will start to flake and be a little attraction for the fish. In addition, I'm putting some ground bait out as well, and I'll show you that in a moment. The first thing that I did when I arrived was to put my thermometer out, and what's actually happened is that we've had well, relatively speaking, we've had a mild night, and so although it is very, very cold as far as the air temperature is concerned, the water temperature has actually gone up a few degrees, so that's really encouraging. So I've got me a little bucket there and some ground bait. I'm going to mix that up, and I'm going to put some out on a fairly regular basis. Very sloppy, I'm not fishing far out, very sloppy, because I want to create a cloud. I don't want to feed the fish, I don't want anything too stodgy out there. A few pieces of bread is okay, but nothing too stodgy as far as the ground bait and attractor is concerned. And there's the ground bait ready to go out. I'll try and show you there. As you can see, that is very, very sloppy. As soon as that hits the water, it's going to break up, it's going to create a cloud, and it will hang there in the water for some considerable time, and then of course draw the fish in. I mentioned the thermometer, and the main reason that I did that on arrival was that if the temperature was continuing to fall, then that would affect the amount of feed that I put out. It's no good putting stacks of stuff out there if the fish aren't feeding at all. Remember, once it's out, you can't take it back. But if, as is the case now, it's rising slightly, the reading, then that gives me the confidence to put a little bit extra out there. So as far as I'm concerned, certainly at this time of the year, and most definitely in these type of conditions, water temperature is a key and crucial factor in determining the way that the session goes that we've just embarked on. Well, the waiting game begins. I've now cast out, and I'm watching that rod tip, waiting for signs of movement. And don't forget as well, when the water temperature is cold and it is the winter like it is now, not every chub bite will be a wrap around. You have to look sometimes for those little taps almost, where you think it could possibly be a small fish, but it might be a big chub mouthing the bait, and that's when you need to strike into it. And here's my setup as well for those that are interested. I'm fishing with a quiver tip rod, 6 pound main line, that's Maxima, and the hook length, which is about 8 inches, that's also 6 pound, but that's fluorocarbon. And on the end, the business end as far as hooking fish is concerned, I've got a size 4 Drennan Super Specialist. The rest of the rig is very, very simple. As you can see there, that's a free running lead, that's 1/3 of an ounce, and of course I've got a swivel inside there, and there's a bead system that just tucks over it, makes it nice and neat, helps it to avoid tangling, and there you go, that just fits over there. Very, very simple, but also very effective, and that's what you want. We need to tinker with our rigs sometimes, of course, but I'm a great believer that start off simple, keep it simple, and only start to work on it if you really need to, or you are experimenting, of course, because there's always room for improvement. Of a percentage point, tenths of a, what are they called? Mixing the ground bait as I did with my hand in the water, it felt very, very cold. And that's why you need a thermometer. It's no good going on a basis like you make a bath for a baby, put your elbow in, it feels okay. We need to know exactly what the temperature is showing. Because if I hadn't got the reading that I've got today, 5.6 on the thermometer, I would have said it was something like 2 or 3 Celsius. Now that's a big difference really, isn't it? Certainly at this time of the year. So a tip from me is to get a thermometer, particularly with the tenths as well, not just the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Celsius, but the tenths, so you get an accurate account of what's going on. Anyway, dusk is now beginning to settle in, and just like I had the chub at about this time yesterday, I'm hopeful. But of course, hope in itself doesn't put fish on the bank. But as long as you're doing what you can and you put all the odds as much as possible in your favour, then of course you increase your chances of connecting with a fish. You can't see me, but you can hear me. It's now dark, of course, and I've just had a take from a bream, and I'm about to net that. Not my target species, of course, but very, very welcome, and it means that I haven't blanked. There it is in the net. And again, of course, you can't see me, but you can hear me, and I've just had a lovely pull round. In fact, the rod lifted from the rest, and this is most definitely a chub, and hopefully that's what's on the screen right now, because it means I've netted it.